stay tuned because for the next 60 minutes, Motorsports Unlimited is on the air. Hi, I'm Jerry Bryant, and these are the lovely ladies of motorsports. And all this hour, we're going to have 60 minutes of action-packed excitement. All kinds of exciting things will happen. And we got the famous Bill Wildt, and we got all kinds of other good stuff that's happening all this hour. Motorsports Unlimited, 60 minutes of non-stop action. So let's go to the studio right now.
Thanks, Jerry, and hi, everybody. Welcome to the studio headquarters of Chicagoland's most watched, most talked about Access television series. I'm Samantha Bentley, and this is the 1025th edition of Motorsports Unlimited. It's the first Sunday in December, so you know what that means. It's time for the Chicagoland Toys for Tots Motorcycle Parade. Each year, on the first Sunday in December, bikers take to the streets of Chicago to make sure every child has a Christmas. It doesn't make any difference what the weather is. Rain, cold, snow, whatever. The bikers ride with toys for kids. 2006 was no exception, but Bill was worried. He would find out later the official temperature was 8 degrees. But right now, he knew it was just plain cold, and he was concerned if anyone would show up. In addition, there's a special twist to this year's coverage. It seems he has a passenger. Those of us who know Bill know you never ask him a question unless you really want an answer. It seems a lady asked him how one goes about volunteering to help with the parade. The next thing she knew, well, watch in his rearview mirror. You'll see a little bit of a pink snowsuit as they arrive at Dan Ryan Woods on Western and 83rd Street in Chicago.
Well, I don't know if the audience can see it, but we've already got some bikes over there at the gas station. Probably be a good idea to fuel up. I should have done it, but I'm too cold. The last temperature sign we saw was 14 degrees. It was 10 degrees when we left in the morning. Now there's some more bikes. It's a hardcore biker to come out today. It is cold. Well, yeah, they got bikes already. Ah, they're happy.
Little slippery, just be careful, little slippery.
It really looks cold. Hi, I'm Patty Borowitz, and I could see a little bit of the pink snowsuit of someone with Bill. Whoever it is, they must be frozen. They've been on the road for over an hour getting to the Dan Ryan Woods, where the Chicagoland Toys for Tots motorcycle parade assembles every year. Let's meet Bill's passenger and find out what this is all about.
I have a young woman with me that is going to kill me before the day is over. First of all, tell the folks who you are.
My name is Mei Chin.
Okay, but it's actually Mei Line Chin, right?
Officially, yes.
Okay, but we shortened it to Mei Chin, right?
Right.
Okay, I met Mei Chin at the American Street Machines Award Banquet, so we've gotten to know each other a little bit over the past couple of years. And Mei is a volunteer. You volunteer for kind of lots of stuff, don't you?
Yes.
Right. Well, you wanted to volunteer last year to work on the Toys for Tots motorcycle parade. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what Mei did was she went into the phone book, found Toys for Tots, and you called Toys for Tots, and they didn't know what you were talking about.
Right.
Okay, so Mei told me, she says, I tried to volunteer to help with that parade down there, and nobody even knew what I was talking about. I says, well, Mei, we're going to find out why. We're going to go right to the horse's mouth. You come with me on the first Sunday in December down to Dan Ryan's Woods, and we are going to talk to the president of the Chicagoland Toys for Tots motorcycle parade, and we're going to find out why you couldn't find a way to volunteer. What do you think? Is that the good way to go to the horse's mouth?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, well, that's what we're going to do here today. So that's why we've got Mei along with us. It was a nice ride here today, huh?
Very refreshing.
Yeah, very refreshing. She's being very, very kind. Anyway, so that's part of what we're going to do. And by the way, I just got to say it, these poor guys, 2 years ago, they had over 50,000 motorcycles. They had a 60-degree day. Last year, they got 4 or 5 inches of snow. The night before the event, they had 4 or 5 inches of snow. Well, here, 2 days before the event, depending on where you were, they had anywhere from 4 to 14 inches of snow. It's really cold today. 10 when we left the house this morning, and about 14 degrees right now. So I hope we have some kind of a turnout. It's a shame because they spend the entire year planning this event, and it's so weather dependent. So we're going to find out a couple things as to, number one, how the guys turn out today with all the cold and snow. And number two, we're going to find out how Mei Chin can volunteer, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what we're going to do today, folks. And the bikes are rolling in as we're speaking. So we got some real hardcore guys out there.
Poor Mei. We in the American Street Machines Car Club should have warned her never to ask Bill a question unless you really want an answer. She must be frozen. Hi, I'm Janine Lauschat. And while Bill was looking for Cooch, the president of the Chicagoland Toys for Tots motorcycle parade, he found the rider who arrived first and wanted you to meet him.
As we traditionally do on Motorsports Unlimited, we like to find the guy that got here first, and this is the same guy that got here first last year. Tell the folks once again who you are.
My name is Shade. I'm from Wildt, Illinois.
Wildt, that's quite a ride.
It's about 10 miles from here.
Okay, not too bad, but boy, in 10-degree weather, a little cold.
Yeah, it was 10 degrees on the thermometer on the side of my house when I left this morning. A little icy on the side street, but the main streets are pretty clear, so it wasn't a bad ride.
Do you make a concerted effort to be first one down here?
I try to be, yeah. I like to get here, but be in the front part of the pack and enjoy the parade that way.
How long have you been participating in the Toys for Tots motorcycle parade?
I've been coming here for about 26, 27 years now.
Well, you must be almost from the very beginning then.
Yeah, I started about 2 years after it started.
Okay, why?
Well, I heard about it, and I heard what they were doing, raising all the toys for the kids. And I said, that's a real reason to come out in any kind of weather for the kids for Christmas.
So it's all about the kids for you?
Oh, yeah, all about the kids.
Okay, tell me what you're riding. What have you got?
I've got a Harley-Davidson Classic full dresser, 1999.
You better be careful today. There's some icy spots out there.
Yeah, there is a few, but we always take it pretty slow and pretty easy on the parade, and everybody watches out for everybody else.
Yeah, you're right. Now, do you heavily decorate your bike or no? Because, folks, what we're going to do here today, we're doing things a little different because it's so cold, is I'm going to go and take a picture of his bike and put it over our conversation if our equipment doesn't freeze up. So I'm asking him, you're seeing the bike, but I'm not right now. Do you have it decorated and all that, or with toys and stuff?
No, I just put the toys on the back of the bike. I didn't have a chance to decorate this year. Sometimes I do. I put some garland on it and some lights, but not this year. I didn't have the chance to.
Well, I'll tell you something. Last week it was a 60-degree day. If we had that, if this had been 1 week ago, we'd have 50,000 bikes.
Oh, yes, we would. That's for sure.
So it's so weather dependent. It's such a shame these guys work so hard at this, you know?
Yeah, it is.
So you got to be pretty hardcore for this kind of weather. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little bit crazy helps.
Yeah, a little bit crazy, but it is a great cause, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, once again, anything you'd like to tell the audience before you get going?
Yeah, this goes on all the way through December. Then there's Toys for Tots boxes at a lot of department stores and different shops. Bring some toys, donate for the kids. Make their Christmas a little bit brighter.
Boy, you do get the whole thing, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Boy, this is my kind of guy right here.
All of the people who ride in the parade are special and have their heart in the right place. They truly understand what Christmas is all about, and we think make quite a statement about it when they ride in brutal cold to make sure every child has a Christmas. Now, while Bill was getting a picture of Shade's bike, Santa and his entourage of biker elves arrived. Let's take a moment to chat.
I can't believe it. All the years we've been doing the Chicagoland Toys for Tots Motorcycle Parade, we have never missed Santa's entrance, and guess what? We missed it this year. Santa, you caught us by surprise. What happened? You're a little early.
We usually catch everybody by surprise.
Well, today it was a shock. How was the ride from the North Pole?
Oh, excellent. A clear day, sunny, no snow, right in.
It's 10 degrees.
Seasonal.
Of course, as you know, the Toys for Tots Parade is real weather dependent, and with all the snow that we've had the last couple days and the very cold temperatures, we need all of the citizens to come out there and drop toys off in the boxes and all that to help out this year. Don't you agree?
As long as everybody remembers that every child deserves a Christmas, no matter what time you drop it off, it is welcomed and well received.
You know, we've talked about this before on Motorsports Unlimited. It's not really just about a toy for a child at Christmas. It's really about teaching, particularly the people in the most depressed area of our communities, that people have a heart, that somebody that they don't know and will never meet reached into their pocket and spent time to go out and made sure they had a Christmas. And I think that's the lesson that they carry through life.
You're giving everybody hope.
Agreed. Now I'm going to get out of your way here because got a lot of people who want to talk to you. Once again, oh look at this.
How you doing out there? Where you been, huh?
This one, believe it or not, this is a real doctor. Tell the folks who you are.
Come on down, I'm Doc Joe. It's at least 3 degrees warmer in the sun. It's hot out
Didn't
here.
you tell me last year that if it's this cold and snowy again this year, it would be crazy to come?
Well, yeah, that's why we're here.
And he's here.
Santa and his elves rode quite a distance to participate in the very important Chicagoland Toys for Tots Motorcycle Parade. They know how important the bikers' effort is to the United States Marines Toys for Tots program, as well as many other entities who distribute toys to needy children every year. As the inspirational leaders of the event, they never fail to make it regardless of the weather. Speaking of leaders, the parade wouldn't be possible without the help of Chicago City leadership. Let's meet one of them.
Of course, none of this would be possible without the cooperation of the city leaders and the community leaders. And we've got one of the big guys here. Tell the folks who you are.
Hi, Bill. I'm Alderman Ariel Raboyers from the City of Chicago, 30th Ward. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, and you've been a longtime supporter of the Chicagoland Toys for Tots Motorcycle Parade.
Well, it's my 4th year as alderman. No longer a freshman, but I've supported this event every year. Very important for my community, very important for Chicago, and I thank you for being part of this.
Now, do you see the results in your ward? Would that be the right way to say it, ward?
Absolutely. In our ward, many of our kids benefit from organizations such as Toys for Tots and what the volunteers do for this. If it wasn't for this event, Bill, I'm sorry, kids would not be possible. And what it means that, and every child deserves a toy, absolutely true. But Toys for Tots is what does it. It makes it all exciting for them for 07.
Well, listen, anything you want to say, because folks, I'm telling you, it's really, really, really cold. It's cold for him, cold for me. So I don't mean to rush these guys, but anything else you'd like to add? Yeah, I know.
My circulation.
Talk about a tough guy, no gloves.
We're here, as you can see, we're all dressed in layers. The weather is beautiful. I mean, this is what it's all about. Hot, cold, dry, or warm.
Christmas is still going to come, and the kids still need toys. Christmas is going to be here.
The kids are going to have toys, and we're going to be very thankful because Toys for Tots came through once again.
Once again, here we've got a guy, one of the big shots in the city of Chicago, that's full support of the Chicagoland Toys for Tots Motorcycle Parade, and without their help, it couldn't happen.
Over the years, we have detailed the extensive organizational work entailed in pulling off an event of this size. The City of Chicago leadership, the Chicago Police Department, the Cook County Forest Preserve District, and many more, too numerous to mention each time but never forgotten. Without everyone's enthusiastic help, it couldn't happen. Now, don't think Bill's forgotten about May's question on how to volunteer. It's going to be answered now. So if someone watching is also interested in helping, get a paper and pencil ready. By the way, you don't have to be a biker to help. There is plenty of work for non-riders.
All right, I promised you at the beginning of this program we were going to solve May Chen's problem. May, if you would, come out here, please. Yes, bring everything with you. That's fine. May is out here timing the pieces net for me. He's giving me big help. None of these guys have met May, and I want to explain what this is all about. May Chen is a part of the American Street Machines. I met her at the American Street Machines Car Club banquet last year, and she's a person that volunteers for lots of things. So last year she tried to volunteer to work the Toys for Tots motorcycle parade. She went in the phone book, called Toys for Tots. They didn't know what she was talking about. She said to me, Bill, I wanted to help, but nobody seemed to know what I was talking about. I says, well, you know what, May? You come with me on the first Sunday in December, like every year, and I am going to have the president of the Chicagoland Toys for Tots motorcycle parade explain to you how to do this. Now listen. First, Cooch, tell them who you are.
My name's Robert Kuchera, also known as Cooch, president for Chicagoland Toys for Tots.
Okay, here's my guess on what happened. My guess is she went into the phone book, Toys for Tots, got a hold of the Marines. They had no idea what she was talking about, and the point we have to make over and over again is, while these guys work very closely with the Marines, the fact of the matter is this is a separate entity. So if you call the Marines, in all likelihood, they're not going to know what you're talking about to help with the parade.
No, especially after Christmas. The motorcycle organization does things all year round, so she probably called the wrong number. She should have probably
called the Marines, I'm sure.
Yeah, 773-866-TOYS, as opposed to the Marine number, which is 773-839-3434.
Okay, we're going to get confused, and before we stop this interview, I'm going to have him give that phone number again, and I'm going to have him give the website.
Yeah,
the website. Wait, I'm going to have him let people get a pencil and paper and all that. Now, don't run away. Let me introduce the folks here, because without all these folks, none of this is possible. Tell the folks who you are once again.
Lester Fortier.
And you're no longer, this was always the bad guy. He was the sergeant at arms. You're not the sergeant at arms anymore.
I'm the vice president.
Aren't you sorry?
Yeah.
Ton of work, isn't it?
It's a little bit different, yes, sir.
Yes, and I understand it's your bride.
Yes, it is.
And you are. Tell the folks.
Lynn Fortier.
That's a matter of fact, we had you on the J.C. Whitney car show, if I remember
Yes,
correctly.
we just saw the video. In fact, it was very good. It was a lot warmer.
Yeah,
that was June.
But you didn't have that hat then.
No, I didn't. In fact, we were taking off our clothes to stay cool.
Okay, I want you guys to lean in here, please. George, lean in here.
My name is Ernie, formerly known as George Gore. I'm now an Ernie. Ernies have more fun.
Oh, I'm going to explain the Ernie thing in a minute. Step in here, please. Help me. Step in.
Mikey Miglieri.
And?
Pete Offside.
Please step in.
My name's Chuck. I do security.
Please step on over here. Help me. It's hard today.
Art Fonseca.
Okay, and what do you guys all do? You all have the vests on.
We just do everything we can here, security, parking the bikes, getting them started, getting them up to the north side, and make sure everybody has a wonderful time and help the kids.
Okay, guys, anything anybody want to say? Because I know you guys are all busy. The parade's going to start very shortly, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, since this is May's first ride, we want to make sure that she volunteers forever, so we're going to give her first run pin.
Oh, look at this. Run pin for May, huh?
Thank you for volunteering.
This is her first time, and can you believe it? It was 10 degrees and she rode all the way here on the motorcycle.
Now she knows what to do. All you got to do is go to our website, www.chicagolandtft.org.
And the phone number?
773-866-TOYS, or always get in touch with our good friend Bill, and he'll tell you how to get a hold of us.
You better believe it, and I told you I was going to bring you right to the horse's mouth. I did a pretty good job, huh? Anyway, these guys got to get going because they're really busy right now. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
We hope you noticed how carefully May was timing the piece. She's never done anything like this, but wanted to help. Now, we mentioned the importance of the support of everyone from community leaders to the police department. Here is another kind of support from which every event benefits.
Well, here's a new one on me, folks. Apparently something's been going on for a long time that I didn't know about, that we actually have blessings of the bikes or something like that. First of all, you are?
Deacon Nicholas Kelly.
And you are?
I'm Bishop James Wolkowski.
Okay, can you give us a little idea how long you guys been doing this?
This is our first year doing it. We've been involved with Toys for Tots and supporting them for a number of years. They're friends of the Evangelical Catholic Diocese of the Northwest, and this is the year that we'll be able to contribute our time to make sure that today goes safely and everybody has a safe ride and the event is totally successful.
So you guys are seeing in your work, you're seeing some of the benefits of the Chicagoland Toys for Tots motorcycle parade?
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
Okay, so you get involved with toy distribution, that sort of thing?
We've been promoting it. We do it on the diocesan website. We're very much involved with organizations that are contributors towards this event. So anybody who does contribute a toy know that they're doing it for a worthy cause, and they're going to put a smile on a child's face this Christmas.
How much need do you see out there? Where is your ministry located?
We're here in metropolitan Chicago, and the need is never ending. There's always a need, especially to do good works for people who are in need, and especially for our young people, Ned, who need to know that there is a larger world and a larger society who do care and support them.
Well, it's nice to see that we get some support from the religious community. Did you ever think you'd be standing in 10-degree weather with thousands of bikers blessing bikes first Sunday in December?
Well, our good friend Bob Kuchir, Kuchas as he's known to one and all, gave me the nickname year before last of the Biker Bishop. So hopefully next year, not only will I be able to be blessing some of the bikes, I may be riding one of them myself.
Do you ride?
I just got my permit.
Be careful, please. I'm not sure the big guy's going to protect you on that stuff.
I hope he will. You know, the sun is out and the wind is kind of dying down a little bit, so hopefully it won't be too terribly cold of a day.
Well, if he's riding, how about yourself? Do you ride?
I certainly do not. No.
Okay. Well, if the bishop is deacon or bishop, I'm sorry.
Bishop.
Bishop, it's cold. If the bishop is riding next year, we're going to do a piece with him right by his motorcycle.
With that kind of support, success is assured. Now, we've mentioned many times on Motorsports Unlimited, motorsport is a community, and while some may focus on cars, and some on motorcycles, and others on boats, and still others on airplanes, and let's not forget snowmobiles, and all the rest, there is definitely broad interest and a sense of community. You shouldn't be surprised our next guest is one of the awesome 200-mile-per-hour Chicago wise guys. While his focus is drag racing cars, he's also a biker and riding in the parade.
Now this is what I like to see. Obviously, there's a ton of bikers that participate in the Chicagoland Toys for Tots motorcycle parade. But not just bikers. As a matter of fact, a lot of bikers are also car guys, and we've got a guy here I guess we wouldn't call a biker, we'd call him a car guy that's participating. One of the Chicago wise guys. Tell the folks who you are.
Dennis Furcus.
Dennis, where are you from?
Franklin Park, Illinois.
A little bit of a chilly ride today.
Not too bad.
Yeah, come on, you said your hands were cold. Go ahead and admit it.
Yeah, the fingertips got a little cold today.
Okay, before we get into your Toys for Tots participation, everybody knows that's been watching Motorsports Unlimited for any length of time that you've been trying your best to get that 200-mile-an-hour speed. There was 3 events to go the last time we interviewed you. Did you get your 200-mile-an-hour pass?
199.87.
That's got to be. Why didn't you spray?
No, I'm going to do it this year. This coming year. No, I'm not going to spray. I'm going to go with another motor program, and I'm stepping it up a little bit.
Okay, how long have you been participating in the Chicagoland Toys for Tots motorcycle parade?
At least 15 years now.
Has it been that long? What do you ride?
93 Electric Glide.
Okay, so that's probably a Harley, right?
Yes.
You just assume everybody knows that.
Right.
Okay, and you've been riding that long now. Do you bring along any of the other guys with you or no?
Yes. Matt Roman from Roman Custom Cycles. I'm riding with him and a couple other guys. Last year, rode with about 10 other guys from the neighborhood and stuff, and we have fun every year, and we bring all our toys, and it's for the kids. That's what it's about.
It doesn't really matter if it's, in fact, the cold and the snow and everything kind of adds to the spice of the thing in a way,
Yeah, like I go snowmobiling once in a while. I never figured out how cold it was. It's 25 below zero. You go 100 miles an hour.
What's the difference?
Right.
That's what I'm wearing, a snowsuit. Everybody can see I'm under. This is a snowsuit, folks. So really, you ought to come down and participate. In fact, we haven't talked about that enough on today's program yet. This is a biker event, but it's not just a biker event. It's for everybody, and they really want everybody's participation. Whether it's little May Chin volunteering to do road blocking with cars, who's never even thought about riding a motorcycle, to a guy like Dennis Furcus, one of the crazy Chicago wise guys making 200-mile-an-hour passes. This event is for everybody. Agreed?
Agree. Everybody's.
Okay. And you never, I'll tell you, I run into guys from the Windy City Corvette Club down here that are also riders. Everybody should participate in this.
Oh yes, doctors, lawyers, everybody's out here.
And even if you don't ride, there's plenty to do. If nothing else, stand along Western Avenue and cheer these guys along. Because I can tell you, especially today, it'll really mean something.
Dennis has been trying for that magic 200 miles per hour number for several years. He's so close. Maybe next year. We'll keep an eye on the Chicago wise guys. Now, speaking of keeping an eye on someone, you always have to keep an eye on Santa's elves because you never know what they're going to do.
Part of the fun that these guys have down here is dressing for the occasion. This is a little bit goofy because these guys have got to be freezing, but every year they're down here as elves, and you are.
My name is Ed Copey. My name is Pockets.
And where are you from?
Parkridge, Illinois.
And you are?
I'm Nuki from Villa Park.
Okay, and how long have you been riding with the Toys for Tots group?
About 7 years.
And?
7 years.
And you are?
First year.
This is your first year?
This is my first year.
What's your name?
I'm Carolyn, his daughter, Pocket's daughter.
Okay, and this is now you're not actually riding, are you?
No, I'm sitting on the back of his bike.
That's what we want the ladies to do, because it's okay for guys to get torn up. We don't want to tear up the girls.
I was going to bring my bike, but then I
do ride.
I do ride.
Oh boy,
she's a good rider.
Boy, I certainly hope so. What do you guys? What's the whole deal with the elves costumes and all that?
Well, we go to the hospitals and orphanages and drop off.
Deliver the toys.
That's the point I want to make. It's not just, people really need to know that this is not just about the ride the first Sunday in December. There's a ton of work that goes involved in the distribution of this stuff afterwards. And you guys in costume with Santa go to the various children's homes and hospitals and all that and distribute, which I would think in a way has got to be the fun part.
It's very rewarding. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would think it would be. Now, this thing, you guys probably already started distributing, no?
No, not yet. Tuesday's our first day.
Tuesday's the first day, and it'll go on until past the first of the year?
No, till Christmas.
Okay, because last year some of the guys were still distributing toys to New Year's.
That's possible, but we stop right before Christmas.
Okay, you do the costumes the whole time?
Yes.
All the time.
Okay, last question. Where's your costume? You know, a girl can be an elf too.
That's my first year. I got to get, I don't have my elf costume yet.
Okay, what you need is those shoes.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, thanks for spending a little time with me. Once again, there's all kinds of ways to enjoy the Chicagoland Toys for Tots Motorcycle Parade. Come down to be part of it. Again, you don't have to ride to be part of this thing. There's a million things you can do without being a rider. Of course, if you do ride, you ought to be here.
Just as Bill finished with the elves, they were called to the front of the staging area, as it was time to get in position to start the parade. Of course, that meant Bill and May too. That's right, you guessed it. May doesn't drive, so wherever Bill went, she went. And that meant the 29th annual Chicagoland Toys for Tots Motorcycle Parade.
If you look at their shadow, you can see May preparing herself, as well as our helmet cam on top of Bill's helmet.
Next, it was pulling out onto Western Avenue and waiting until the Chicago police blocked off the next several intersections and gave Santa and his elves the all clear.
Then they received the signal to go. Bill wondered if many would be on Western Avenue watching and cheering the guys on. It was so cold.
Out on the highway, things
We've mentioned it before, but once again, we would like to thank the talented Roger Pauly for creating Motorcycle Man. Roger wrote and performed the music especially for Motorsports Unlimited, and it always seems to go perfectly with the Chicagoland Toys for Tots Motorcycle Parade. Speaking of the parade, let's take a moment to review what's actually happening. The bikers assembled in the Dan Ryan Woods Forest Preserve at 83rd and Western Avenue. Each carried a toy to donate to the Toys for Tots program. Many are loaded with toys, and some even pull trailers full of toys. They left the Dan Ryan Woods and paraded north on Western Avenue. By the way, Western Avenue is the longest street in Chicago. Do you know the shortest street? Here is a hint. It intersects Western Avenue. Anyway, the bikers proceed north on Western Avenue for about 15 miles until they reach Foster Avenue, where they turn west, travel a couple more miles to the United States Marine Center at Foster and Troy. When they arrive at the Marine Center, they contribute the toys and begin their Christmas season. Right now, we're still headed north on Western Avenue. Oh, by the way, the shortest street in Chicago? I'll point it out when we pass it. Watch carefully. Hey, our musical direction couldn't be more right on cue. To the notes of Here Comes Santa, the Chicagoland Toys for Tots Real Deal Santa is ahead, having pulled over, as he often does, to hand toys and candy to children watching the parade.
At this point, Bill wanted to allow some of the parade to go by so he could get some of those further back on camera.
I must say, I'm really surprised at the number of people who turned out on Western Avenue to watch the parade. It was really cold, and it was probably more difficult for the spectators than the riders. Standing in one spot cheering the guys on can really get to your feet. All of the bikers want you to know how much they appreciate the spectator support. The smiles and waves warms them up. Here's someone who really has the Christmas spirit. Look at the trailer loaded down with toys for the kids. By the way, to his left is a rider with a dog in his knapsack. I really wanted to get a better shot, but it was so cold and everyone was so bundled up, you have to be careful to make all of your riding moves predictable so you don't have an accident because someone couldn't figure out what you were trying to do or just plain couldn't see you. Perhaps next year I'll get a better shot. I take a close look at things like this because I'm an animal lover and I'm always concerned the dog might be at risk. In this case, the way he had his pal bundled up with him, you could see it was all love and carefully planned. The dog sure seemed to be enjoying himself too. They are very special friends. Special compliments to Chicago's finest, the Chicago Police Department. It's difficult for me to believe that after nearly 30 years of the Chicagoland Toys for Tots Motorcycle Parade and the fine work the bikers do to ensure every child has a toy at Christmas, we still occasionally find someone who doesn't know what's going on the first Sunday in December on Western Avenue. A couple of cars pushed their way into the parade, but the Chicago police were right on top of it. Well done, guys. Now there's a motorcycle. That thing must weigh 1,000 pounds. We're back up front with Santa and his entourage, including Doc Joe. He's the green elf on the red Har. Well, they're all green elves, and there are several red Harleys. Anyway, he's the one of the green elves on the one of the red Harleys on the left side, about 3 bikes back from Santa. You know, it's amazing. All this snow and cold, just in time to impact the Chicagoland Toys for Tots motorcycle parade, is, at the same time, something very exciting for snowmobilers. We really thought we were going to have a good winter this year, but just as last year, it was all gone a couple of weeks later and 53 degrees on New Year's Eve. Go figure. We've got to do something about this timing.
At this point, Bill stopped again to let some of the parade go by and to tell May if she wasn't too cold or afraid to let go, she should be waving to the spectators. He wasn't sure if she was able to do it until he saw the footage in editing. May started out waving very timidly, and by the end of the parade was really into it. If you watch very closely, you can see her waving in their shadow.
I hope you were able to see that May really got into the parade and had a great time despite the cold. I can't believe we're almost out of time. The parade takes over an hour, so of course we can't show you all of it in one show, but I promised to point out the shortest street in Chicago, and there it is, Jones Street. Remember, part of today's coverage of this event was to show you how to go about volunteering. Get your paper and pencil ready because it's coming as soon as we get inside. Helping is a great way to get the Christmas spirit.
Despite the cold, it was a great ride. I don't know if you noticed, but after May got the hang of holding on with one hand and waving with the other, she really got into it. This was an entirely new experience for her, and she really was a good sport. Now, let's go inside and see how toy collection is progressing.
Well, once again, these guys have pulled it off, and I'm telling you, it was not easy today. We are talking about 10 degrees, and when you're doing 40, 50 miles an hour on a motorcycle, it is really cold. Cooch, you and your staff, congratulations again. Nice job.
Thanks a lot, Bill. It wasn't easy. I mean, everybody was worried again, but we knew if the ground was dry, we would be out if it was 5 above.
No. These guys are tough. The problem is, for example, I know up in the northwest suburbs, those guys had 12, 14 inches of snow. They couldn't even get their bikes out of the garage, let alone worry about riding here.
No, you're right, but I don't know if you heard, we had a gentleman came in from Wheaton, somebody came in from Crete, Illinois, and those are diehards. Somehow they managed to get their bikes down.
As Vice President, what do you think? Pulled it off this year?
I think it's amazing. All that networking that we all did this past year brought everybody out for today, I think.
No question about it, and before I do this wrong, please tell the folks once again who you are and where you're from.
Lester Fortier, I'm the Vice President from Toys for Tots, and I'm from Chicago.
Coach?
Bob Cooch, the President for Chicagoland Toys for Tots.
And?
I'm CTA Bob. I'm in Tier 2, Rolling Roadblock.
What does CTA Bob mean?
I work for CTA.
Well, I think you guys want to thank them all the time, right?
Well, you know what? We want to thank a lot of people. We want to thank the CTA, City of Chicago Special Events, Streets and Sanitation, the Police Department, Cook County Forest Preserve. I mean, they were out there yesterday dropping the salt in Dan Ryan's woods to clear that out so that the bikes could come in. So the Forest Preserve did a tremendous job. All the guys in OEMC, the CTA. I mean, it's not just us showing up, going down Western. And of course, all our volunteers. We can't do it without the 600 volunteers in the Chicagoland Toys for Tots motorcycle organization.
Well, you could have had 601 volunteers. May, if you would, come on over here. Come on, May. Come on. You could have had 601 volunteers if she had been able to get the phone number right now. I want to go through that one more time so everybody understands. We are right now in the Marine Center on the north side on Foster. It's probably not Foster Avenue, but it's on Foster Avenue.
It's on Foster and Troy.
Okay. And you guys work very closely with the Marines, but the Chicagoland Toys for Tots Motorcycle Parade is a totally separate entity.
Yeah, we're independent of them, but one of our objectives is to deliver toys to the U.S. Marine Corps Toys for Tots program the first Sunday in December, and that's what we do.
Right. As a matter of fact, the largest contributing entity to the United States Marine Toys for Tots program.
Every year.
Now, you guys got to be proud of that.
Absolutely. And I think that's what makes a great organization. We're very prideful of that, winning that claim every year that we are the largest contributor to the U.S. Marine Corps Toys for Tots program. And then we're proud of what we do throughout the year with our organization. Our own toy committee helps people. We aid various organizations financially throughout the year with our collectible committee and things like that. So we work in terms of helping children and those in need the entire year.
Wouldn't you have liked to have had last week's 60-degree day?
Yes and no. If we would have had 60,000 or 50,000, we would have had an abundance of toys, but it also makes it a lot rougher on our helpers.
Without a doubt.
And, we're happy.
And you wouldn't have had May out there, and without May, maybe it's a good thing they had a smaller turnout with bad weather, right?
Yes.
But if they had good weather and a big turnout, you'd have handled it.
Of course.
But
she can handle it.
We got 601 volunteers now. She got her first run pin. Now she's got to keep that thing going down her arm. So she's going to be back next year. So we will have 601 next year too.
Absolutely. Well, listeners, anything you guys want to say? Because we're going to try to talk to a couple more people. May, I think you're stepping on my cord here. Just go ahead.
There's people behind me are, this is like his second or third
Step
year.
in. Please, May, just step out here just for a second. And you are?
I'm Dale Bransky.
From?
Chicago.
What'd you do today?
I rode Chicago Toyland Toys for Tots.
Yeah, but
all the way from the park.
How about the important things? Did you bring any toys?
Oh, sure. 3 bags.
There, 3 bags. So you do have the spirit.
Yeah, you do it every year.
You guys are inspirational, Coach.
Well, Bill, we want to thank you for your support throughout the year. Your encouragement to get us involved in radio and TV. We all used to be introverts, and now we're all extroverts because of you.
You guys have never been introverts in your entire life, but they do a great job. In Chicago, there's a live program. They do a live thing in Chicago. For those that are seeing this in the suburbs, it won't make sense, but they do a live thing in Chicago called Hotline 21.
Every Tuesday, 6:30 on Channel 21.
That's right, and for 13 or 12 weeks preceding the parade, you guys are on live every week, letting people know what's going on and all that, right?
Yeah, you made us TV stars. We're waiting for our Emmys.
You know what he's not telling you? How hard I had to fight these guys to try it, right?
Yeah, you did. You could
3 years it took.
Yeah,
me.
Exactly. And we want to thank you again for all your help, Bill, throughout the year. I mean, wherever you see us, you always give us a pitch, and it's that networking that makes us known in terms of the good things that we do.
Well, folks, believe me, I am pleased and proud that they allow me to call them my friends, because I will tell you something. All you have to do is walk around here today. You look at these guys, big, tough guys, all carrying little dolls and little presents and jigsaw. Talk about guys with a heart. You agree?
I totally agree with you. Yes, sir.
These are fine people.
That's why we have the bear on a motorcycle. Big bears with big hearts are our bikers.
You know, on that, I'll tell you what, let's close this off with one more comment from you guys. If you'd crowd together just a little bit, don't run away, a little bit, and to the camera, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Chicago.
As Bill says over and over, some of the finest people you'll ever meet. Let's meet a few of the bears Cooch referred to.
You know, it's really interesting how Cooch was just talking about networking and all that. We've got a fellow here, actually a couple fellows that were down on the rock probably about a week ago, and you are?
I'm Tomcat, Shadow Riders.
From?
Downers Grove.
And?
Tony Shabbat, Shadow Rider, Mokina, Illinois.
And we're going to get to this man in a second. I'm not going to forget him, but you guys were both down at the rock?
I was.
I wasn't.
Get out.
I'm teasing. He's been riding this ride for 10 years. This is my first Toys for Tots.
It's the first toy run?
Yeah.
Well, what'd you think? Did you have fun?
I had a great time.
Wonderful.
Stayed warm.
Wonderful cause. We all have kind of a shared sort of a misery to deal with and all that. And to us, we've been doing this now for about 15 years. To us, this kicks off the Christmas season.
Yeah, he's been in it for about 10 years now.
That's right. Been riding 10 years, missed a couple years, but every time I can, I get out here, bring some toys, When my wife isn't busy, she comes along if I can get her out. Not on these cold ones, but we had a great time. Wish everyone a Merry Christmas. This is the start of the season.
You bet. And it was a cold one. You guys would be congratulating for participating, no question about it. By the way, when he says shadow riders, he's talking about Honda Shadows, right?
Yes, Honda Shadows, but today I got the Harley.
There you go. So you like them all.
Yeah, I have 2 toys.
There you go. You like them. Now, the reason I brought this guy out here is that I wanted the audience in Franklin Park to see him with this hat on. For those that don't, tell the folks who you are.
I'm Mike Romer from Franklin Park.
Right, you're the guy from Grand Bandstand.
Grandstand Pizza.
Grandstand Pizza.
Yeah.
And you've got a bike. You do ride in a really nice piece. Tell the folks what you got.
I've got just a 02 Sportster, something small. But
No, that thing is a fully done chopper.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, maybe.
No, it's a beautiful bike.
That's all I can afford. I'm a poor man. That's all I can afford.
That's how he pulls the pizzas out of the ovens, right?
Yeah.
It looks like they're warm enough.
Anyhow, did you enjoy the run?
It was great. My second year, I won't ever miss it again.
I think that's great. And for all of us in the motorsport community, this really kicks off the Christmas season for us, makes us feel good.
Bill says it doesn't matter how you feel the morning of the parade. When it's over, you'll have the Christmas spirit. Let's meet a couple who came a long way just to participate in the Chicagoland Toys for Tots motorcycle parade.
I don't believe it. It seems like last year or a couple of years ago we interviewed these people. They came a long way to participate in the Toys for Tots motorcycle parade. I'm going to have them reintroduce themselves and then we'll talk about it a little bit. First of all, you are?
Bonnie Hill.
From?
Detroit, Michigan.
And?
Jim Hill.
Same
Detroit,
place.
Michigan, yeah.
Long haul just to come to be in the parade?
Just for this.
Every year?
Every year. We've been doing it since '87. We moved to Michigan in '90, and we've been coming back here ever since.
Well, let me ask you an important question. I'm going to find out just how dedicated they are. Did you ride here from Michigan?
No, we trailered the bike in, but we rode in the parade.
So you actually rode the whole parade. Now you ride as a passenger, I hope, right?
Yes.
Right, because we don't like to see the women get torn up.
No, not at all.
No, that's why we keep them on the back. You know, I should probably tell the audience what we're doing here. In the background, you can hear Open Road Radio. That's Gina Woods. They're doing a live feed from this facility. And where we are is we're on Foster Avenue, and this is the Marine the Marine Reserve Center. And this is where all the toys end up. All of the bikers, you probably noticed in some of the footage, are all carrying toys, packages for the kids. And they bring them all up to the Marine Center and turn them in here at the Marine Center. This is sort of the conclusion of the event. Did you guys bring some toys up?
Oh, yes. My sister-in-law and her husband, they have a party every year, and they collect a bunch of toys from all their friends and relatives, and we bring them in.
Well, I think that's... Oh, up in Michigan?
No, here.
Oh, down here?
Our families are from here.
Well, I think
raised
there's...
here.
Well, right. I think that was the story. You guys moved to Michigan or something?
Right.
Okay. Well, listen, I hope it was worth it to you. I hope you had a good time this year. It's always good to see you.
I hope they get a lot of toys.
Yes, you know, tough year with the snow and the cold. I'm saying, you guys didn't have any trouble with the snow?
No, we didn't. We did all right.
Okay. Well, in any event, hey, I'll tell you what I'd like you guys to do. I'm going to step out a little bit. I want you guys to move toward me just a little bit. Center yourself in the picture, and what I want you to say is...
Merry Christmas!
With time running out, let's meet one more of those bears with a big heart Cooch was talking about.
One thing we want to make sure that we don't forget is the guys that do what I would call the yeoman work, the real work that it takes to put the parade on. Not that it isn't all real work, it really is. Whether you're having meetings with the village officials or town officials or meetings with the police department, it is all work. But it's also real work once the guys are all underway is to try to keep some semblance of order, try to keep the cars from going into the streets, try to keep the bikers where they're supposed to be. And I've got a guy that's been doing it for I don't even know how many years now. First of all, tell the folks who you are.
My name is Tommy Rattle. Okay, and I've been doing it 26 years. This made my 26th year.
26, almost from the very beginning.
Yes, sir. Put it this way, I've been doing it my whole adult life. I'm only 47, so I've been doing it since I'm a kid.
Explain to the folks exactly what you do.
Well, I take care of the safety of the parade, setting up all the people to come in if they're riding or if they're stationary roadblock or where the trucks go, okay, all the fire trucks, the police cars, everything that rolls out of that front. It's like a chess game, putting it all and figuring it out, and nobody understands. You don't know what you have. You don't know what the game is going to be until that morning. We may have nice weather. We may be below zero. We could be cold, snow. Last year we had snow. Today we had a beautiful day. I mean, it was cold, but the streets are dry. That's the main thing. As long as we got clean streets, we could go. The mayor of the city, they do a good job on the streets. because you know what? They all look forward to this here because this is a parade for the people, and it helps all the Chicago children through the whole city.
You're exactly right, and it's something that Chicago ought to be proud of. This is the largest parade in the world. Anyhow, I'm getting a blinking light up there. We're at the end of the tape. You know what you really want to do right now?
What's that?
I want you to step over and center yourself in the camera shot like that, and I want you to say,
Merry Christmas, everybody, and Merry Christmas, Ma, too.
Cooch is right. Big bears with great hearts. As always, we're out of time too soon with only enough left to acknowledge the fine work of our award-winning production team, including Tom McGrady, Rena Borwitz, our webmaster, Frank Barbalace, and Sue Casanda. Special thanks to JBTV's Jerry Bryant. Music is created for us by independent artists Roger Pauley and Jerry Herbert. Of course, we have to take a moment to thank the stars of this edition of Motorsports Unlimited. Janine Lauschat, Patty Borwitz, May Chin, and our host, Bill Wildt. Me, I'm Samantha Bentley, applauding the efforts of the great guys and gals who pull this event off every year, regardless of the weather. Because of their strength, many children who would have been without will have a Christmas. Pretty cool. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
This program made possible in part by support from Bridgestone Firestone and your local Bridgestone Firestone tire retailers.
This program made possible in part by support from Copy That, located in the County Farm Plaza at County Farm Road and Army Trail Road in Carroll Stream, Illinois. This program made possible in part by support from PB Food Products, located on 47th Street at Western Avenue in Chicago, Illinois.
Motorsports Unlimited is produced by Bill Wildt, president of the Motorsport Advancement Crusade.
This program made possible in part by support from J.C. Whitney & Company, located just off I-80 at the Utica exit in LaSalle, Illinois.
This program made possible in part by support from Jimmy's Red Hots, located on Grant Avenue and Pulaski Road in Chicago.
This program made possible in part by support from the Chicagoland Toys for Tots motorcycle parade held on Western Avenue in Chicago, the first Sunday in December.
This program made possible in part by support from ABC Auto Parts, located on Ashland Avenue at 138th Street in Blue Island, Illinois.
Motorsports Unlimited was created to raise public consciousness, understanding, and appreciation of the motorsport community and their activities. You can contact us by email at msutv.com, or you can write to Motorsport, P.O. Box 66242, Chicago, Illinois, 60666. We enjoy hearing from our audience. Please let us know what you think.
Next week on Motorsports Unlimited, it's time for snowmobiling. Only problem is, it's January 2007 and we still don't have any snow. We're tired of waiting, so we decided to revisit a snowmobile adventure in Whitewater, Wisconsin we taped nearly 10 years ago. You're going to learn how to go snowmobiling in Whitewater, Wisconsin. It's closer than you think, and as you can see, very cool. All next week on Motorsports Unlimited.
So that's it, another edition of Motorsports Unlimited and the lovely ladies of motorsports. And be with us next week because we'll have something real exciting. Bill Wildt's going to have the lovely ladies, and just about anything can happen right here on Motorsports Unlimited. Every week at this time, we bring you the best in motorsports. So be seeing ya. Bye-bye, and keep on rocking.